Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a very special Christmas episode of That Pretentious Book Club.
Yay! Jingle bells,
I
jingle
was
bells.
I was literally going to start singing Jingle Bells. Like, amazing,
That's
amazing.
what you
That's
gotta do.
hilarious.
It
Yeah,
the season calls for it.
you must jingle the bells, man.
You have to.
That over there is your host, Kendall Shaw, aka Dr. Spoons Palermo.
Hi, howdy. What?
What?
Is that my thing?
Yeah,
As soon as I said it, it sounded wrong.
that
Okay.
was correct, as far
And
as I
over
can
there,
remember.
we have Asha O'Rourke, but you can call her Wheezy.
It ain't easy being wheezy. I fully expected to choke on my water just now, but I didn't. So you're all welcome. I still drew attention to it, but I didn't actually choke on my water. So
Yeah.
that's
Don't
great.
worry, guys.
Yeah. If you guys want to skip ahead and only hear about the book today, the time code will be down in the show notes, per usual. If you're a cool kid and you want to hear all the nonsense, then stick around because boy, oh boy, I just have a feeling that there's going to be some. Just a
I was
suspicion.
having that feeling as well. Do you remember that one episode? I believe it was Northanger Abbey, in which we fully talked about the book for maybe 15 minutes and the rest was
Mhm.
nonsense. People were
Yes.
mad, and you know what? I
Yeah.
don't care.
We did get some hate for
I'm
that one, but
like,
I've yet to find it in myself to regret it.
I listen, this is not their podcast, this is our podcast.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about Northanger Abbey for the full hour, then go do your own
Yeah.
podcast.
I feel,
Sorry.
and it maybe it's sacrilegious to say, but I feel like that says enough about the book compared to how I felt about that versus other Jane Austen books. Like that we were like, you know what's more interesting? Us.
Probably something we want to say.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
actually, it's Jane's 249th birthday today.
Happy birthday, Jane.
Happy birthday,
Oh my
Jane. We liked
gosh.
Northanger Abbay. Okay.
We liked it, but
I
listen, you
would.
have so
It's
many
no
good
Emma
books.
in
No.
it.
Well,
You're gonna take issue with that. Well.
no Pride and Prejudice, but it's fine.
No Pride and Prejudice.
No persuasion.
Oh, persuasion.
That's a fun
I
one.
think about Wentworth's letter all the time. Just all the time I think about it. And I'm like,
Just always
wow.
thinking about Wentworth's letter.
If I never get a letter like that, what's the point? Like, I
I
might as
really
well
liked,
pack it
I
up.
mean, I know it's of a different variety, but I really still think about Darcy's letter. And I'm like, why can't we
Ugh.
just, every time that there's like misunderstandings and confusion, why can't we just sort it out that plainly? He was basically like, everything that you've been agonizing over this whole book, because I have been really unclear, and it's been largely my fault because I'm so morose and broody and mysterious. Here's actually all of the truth, just in a
Yeah.
neat little letter. I was like, I love this. All my
He's like,
problems are solved.
I know. It's like very convenient. He's like, they
Yeah.
let me put it in a nice bow for you. Wickham sucks.
hmm He is the worst. You might have sensed a little tension there. That you didn't imagine that.
I don't know if you noticed though our
Some
awkward
tension.
meeting.
Oh
Oh,
my
poor Darcy.
gosh. Yeah.
Oh my God. Well,
It's
guess
actually
what?
pretty fair that we're
Oh,
like discussing this. I'm not to get us into talking about the book too early because we absolutely don't do that. But there's definitely some like Pride and Prejudice vibes with today's book, which I enjoyed
yes,
immensely.
there are. We are definitely yes, this is a romance this time around, you
Yeah.
guys. So
Yeah.
we're back
Christmas
in it on
theme.
that
Yeah.
front. A
Yeah.
Christmas romance.
Anyways, continue with what you were going to say.
Oh, I
I
was
hope it
going to
wasn't
say
relevant.
no.
Perfect.
Before
Perfect.
uh the when I texted you earlier, because okay guys, Lacey texted me like a week ago and was like, "Hey, what kind of like cute like drink should we do for the podcast?" And I was like, "Great idea. Love thinking about that." And then I fully didn't think about it until yesterday. And then I was
Me
like, "Oh
either.
shoot." And then I was like, "Well, I have some cider and then I have some like wassail. I always said
I always
wassail
say
because the song
wassail.
is Here We Come a wassailing. Yeah,
Yeah, I say
but
wassail,
it
but
like looks so stupid. Anyway, sorry if that offends the Brits, but the I
we've
have
never
like this
cared
little
about offending
spice.
the
Yeah, it's like
Brits.
I have this little this like spice container that has like wassail spices in it. So it's like
hmm
maybe I'll do that with my cider. But then I was like, I knew it was going to take, I didn't want to heat it all up and stuff. So anyway, what I have today is a cranberry like wine spritzer that I did. It's like this cranberry wine that I got at Trader Joe's that the
Nice.
flirtatious Trader Joe's person said was very good. So, you know how they are over there. They're always
Yeah,
like flirting and flirting. And
it's very
then I
true.
was like, you know what I can put in there? Uh winter spiced cranberry Sprite, which you can't see it
Oh,
because we have a
genius.
background. So
I love the winter spice cranberry Sprite.
yes, so good. And then I put actual cranberries in it too, floating around.
Yeah, they're
So
so
that's
beautiful.
something.
That is so festive. I also did not like really think I did not think about this at all until yesterday. And what I have is eggnog, oat milk, and whiskey. And so, because
Delish.
eggnog is like it's a little bit much for me. Like it's a little like thick, a little too sweet. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm just gonna have some eggnog and water it down some and just like a splash of whiskey. Because
Mm-hmm.
I was not sure about actually like alcoholic eggnog. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like this together. But something
Yeah.
about like it was like it's like 50% oat milk, 50% eggnog, and the splash of whiskey together is like super freaking good.
That sounds
Highly
real good.
recommend.
I don't
Yeah.
even like eggnog that much, but I think I would
I
like
don't
that.
either. It's so
Yeah.
weird because usually eggnog, like if I'm gonna have any, I have to like have a little bit and just sip
Yeah.
it because
It's a
like
little sip. Mm-hmm.
it's such a unique drink. I think we can
It's
all admit that
a
it's
bold
festive
drink. Yeah.
but disgusting.
Yes.
But not so disgusting that you don't drink a little bit every year. But it's
Right.
not good. I would say
Yeah.
this is good though. So
That's
that's what I
good.
have. And it's like
Is
a
it?
little warm because I heated it up.
Ooh, look at
Yeah.
the cute little cup as well.
Thank you.
Love that. I've got my
Mine's
book
not
club
as
cup
festive, but
you
I saw I
that you gave
loved
me.
that.
Um, I this might be controversial, but another festive food that I feel that way about, pumpkin pie. I
Yeah,
find it
that's fair.
kind of gross, but like I will have a little bit, just once a year.
I get that. I'm finding pumpkin pie less gross as I get older, but I have always
Yeah.
felt that way until the last couple of years. So I've been like, I'll have like a little piece because I feel the same way about sweet potato pie because it's,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
festive. But I
Right. Like
don't.
it's Thanksgiving. I might as well. Yeah.
Mine is, yeah, if there's ever a time to eat pumpkin pie,
It's
the time
now.
is now. Yeah,
Exactly. The
100%.
time is now.
You know what it'll never be as gross as though is
What?
Carissa's cranberry juice mixed with beer.
Oh my God.
That one haunts
I
my
always forget that
nightmares.
she does that.
Yeah, I do too
She
until I have a
is
nightmare about it.
so until it, as I said, haunts my nightmare. She is so weird. I love her.
I know. I'm like, you could go like get something to drink. She's like, yeah, but we already had this. And I'm like, is it good? And she's like, I mean, not really, but like it could be worse.
Like,
What?
girl, why are you drinking it? Oh my God. I mean, it kind of sucks, but like it's I already
So
had
weird.
it, so oh my
Oh gosh.
God.
I always think about that this time of year too, because I think it was
Yeah,
in a Christmas episode previously where this
it
was
was.
disclosed. I was like, I'm sorry, you're doing what right now? Like,
Come again? In
oh
what?
my God.
What did you do? What have you
Doing what? What have you done?
done? I didn't think I kept that.
Oh my God. Well,
Silly, silly girl. Oh,
what
I've
else
actually
has been going
accident.
on? Oh,
Oh,
oh.
oh, actually, oh, I actually do have something to report that might be of interest to the club. I went to the Dickens Festival in Galveston, the Christmas one.
What?
It was very cute. And I
Oh, did
did
you dress
dress like
up?
the Artful Dodger. And I maybe I'll post a pic in
I
on
would
the
say, why have I not
Instagram.
seen pictures? You
I
should
I don't know. I
absolutely
was
do
just
that.
now that we're talking, I'm like, what the hell? Why have I not spoken to Ashbury recently?
I don't know because like you're definitely not like a closeted Dickens fan. This is not a secret.
No, I'm not at all. And I
You're like, I have
mean,
no shame.
I really don't. It was it was I was kind of like hoping that it was like mostly what I wanted, but I think even in my perfect world, the Dickens Festival would involve like more talking about Dickens rather than just this is Christmas and
You're
everyone's
really
kind of
asking
dressed
a
up.
lot for people.
I know, but I will say the best part was that well, one of the best parts was I was like, yeah, I will just be happy if like someone is reading a Christmas Carol, if there's like some kind of something. And I saw on the thingy that there was like the schedule that there was going to be that, but I wasn't like totally sure like what it was going to look like or whatever. And we
Yeah.
got there, and there is this man in full like Victorian clothes. Like a lot
Excellent.
of people are dressed up, and he is doing a dramatic reading of A Christmas Carol. And we caught like the end of it, and so I'm like sobbing because nothing gets me more into the Christmas spirit than Christmas Carol. And then find out that he is related to Charles Dickens, this man who
What?
read. Yes, he's like his great grandson or something like that. And his
Is he a
last name is
Brit?
Dickens. Yeah. He like came all the way over here for this, I guess. I have no
Oh, God
idea.
bless him.
But they've been,
God
God
bless
bless us,
us,
everyone.
everyone.
they, they've been doing the festival for like, this is the 51st year. So
Oh my
I
gosh.
guess that like it's a big deal, but it was pretty funny.
Wow.
There was also this clown, and I started talking up
Mm.
these there were like these two guys close to my age standing next to us while the clown was performing. And oh no, it was fencing, and then after the fencing was the clown. Anyway, I didn't care about the clown so much, but my friend wanted to see the clown. Sabrina wanted to see the clown
Oh, Sabrina.
because she's a freak. And so
I just followed her on Instagram, but I'm kind of regretting it now. I mean, what kind of person did I just follow? Just kidding. I love Sabrina. She's so
she's
adorable.
she is crazy. She doesn't even listen. So we can say whatever we want about Sabrina, but she's
Totally trash
crazy.
talk Sabrina. She's
Yeah, Sabrina
wild.
sucks. She likes clowns.
That's why
But
I like requested to follow her, and I was like, "Is this creepy? I hope she accepts my follow request."
oh, I'm sure she would be like excited.
Yeah.
Um, but there was this one kind of tall, cute guy, and he was dressed also Victorian, as most people were. And I was like, so he's definitely weird, but he is cute. So, and they were like talking about blacksmithing, which was another like, okay, excellent. Because there was a
Because we know how you feel about
know
blacksmiths.
how I feel.
Oh
I
my God.
know. I remembered I was waiting to tell you this part of the story because I was like, I have to tell Ash. But
Oh my
and
gosh.
so and so I kind of jump in there because I'm like, might as well shoot my shot. And so we're kind of actually like all like vibing, me and these two boys. One of them was kind of cute, the other one was pretty cute. So I was like, we'll see. And
What
then
is
like
the
we were all
what is the difference between kind of cute and pretty cute?
pretty cute is cuter than kind of cute.
Okay, okay. I'm
Yeah.
following now.
Okay, for context, the one who I thought was pretty cute was like very tall and blonde. So, of course,
All right.
that's
Yeah, that
where
makes
I'm
sense for
going
you.
for. For
Yeah.
me, yes.
That
So, the
makes
pretty
sense.
cute one, anyway, we're all like, haha, back and forth, having a good time. And we were like talking for several minutes. And then they anyway, it kind of didn't go anywhere, and they were like, well, maybe we'll see you guys around or whatever. And I was like, okay. And they left, and I was like, whatever. Like, I guess I shouldn't have expected us to hang out the rest of the festival. And then I was like, but what happened there? Because I was like, we were really vibing, like we were hitting it
Yeah.
off. And then I was like, right, I'm dressed like a little urchin boy. Fully dressed like a little urchin boy. So any kind of sex appeal that could have been happening was not happening at all, for sure. And there are Victorian outfits I could have worn, would have cinched it, I think.
Yeah.
But no,
I
instead I was
did.
like, well, hello, my lord, with my little top hat. Like, that's the vibe. So, of course, it didn't go anywhere.
That is so
Stupid idiot.
iconically you. Well, they're just missing out because adorable little street urchin Kendall is like so cute and fun. And I am
Maybe it
like,
was my personality then. Maybe they
no, I don't understand it at all. None of it makes sense. Like, oh, that's so funny. My first thought was, oh, you're in costume. And even though I know you, I started thinking of like cute, like girly Victorian costumes. And
know. I know.
I was like, And then I was like, oh, that tracks. Like the second you said what your costume was.
Right.
Ah, the
So
Artful
yeah,
Dodger. Right. Okay. I forgot
right.
who I was
Because
talking to for a
that's what we're
second.
dealing with here. Yeah.
They just are
Good
missing out.
Lord.
Oh my God. They were just intimidated.
They're intimidated. That's what
Yeah,
I think. I
I
mean, they
would
couldn't
assume so.
handle. Also, I did fully say the sentence like, I'm kind of a big Dickens fan. So they're probably like, I'm done. Like,
They
no.
were dressed up.
They were. Yeah, that's the thing. I get that's why I had the false hope. I was like, well,
I
maybe.
I
And
don't
what are the
know.
odds that a boy who goes to a Dickens festival is going to be cute? Like pretty low, I
Right.
think.
Super. That's why when you
So,
said one was kind of cute and one was pretty cute, I was like, are you sure? Like,
like, really? I
really?
don't believe you.
It sounds like a Hallmark movie. This is like a setup for a Hallmark movie. You're gonna run into each other at a
Well,
coffee shop or something.
and it'll be like, oh, I remember you from the festival. I'm sending you the pictures of me.
This is awesome.
It was raining so bad, though. It was like so cold. I thought I was going to die. It was
But
like not
it's
fun. And then we came back after
oh,
and it
look
was
how
fun.
adorable you are. Save downloading these pictures. Spoons is gonna have to actually post them on Instagram so that you guys can see what I'm seeing. But she's freaking adorable. Look
I
at
will post.
you. Look at your little pink nose. It was cold.
It was freezing. And now we're both in tank tops. So,
Yes. It is mid-December. We're just past the middle of December, actually.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Yep.
wearing a sundress. Spoons is wearing an adorable tank top that says I'd rather be watching The Mummy, basically. To read it
Yeah.
word for word, I'd rather be watching the, what does it say,
1999.
1999?
Oh,
Yes,
cinematic
cinematic masterpiece, The
masterpiece, The
Mummy.
Mummy, starring Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz.
Amazing. Oh God, I
It's
love
very
it.
ashcore as well, I think, you
I
know.
love it. I'm so jealous. There's like multiple things that I've seen that on that I want so bad and I just haven't for some reason. But
It's pretty funny. Okay,
that's
now you tell
excellent.
an anecdote
Oh,
about your
now I
life.
tell an anecdote.
Now
Okay.
it's your turn to tell the anecdote.
Oh, my turn. Right. We've been doing this
Mhm.
for like like 5 years or something. Um,
I
let's
know my
see.
notebook still says 2022
My
and it's
I don't
almost
know.
2025.
I've got
Oh,
like 3 pages left at the end of this notebook. My other one, and I've already gone through one whole notebook since
wow.
doing the pod. So, um,
Yeah.
what have I? We cleared the land for where the new house is going to go. So that's
Oh my
exciting.
God. That
Yeah.
is exciting.
And we have a design meeting with the contractors on Friday, and I'm so psyched. And I've decided that I really want like it's going to be a barn dominium style, so it's going to be different than the floor plans were before, which is fine by me. It's great. So slightly bigger footprint, 2-story instead of 3-story, which is actually a lot easier in a lot of ways. But I want to have vaulted ceilings in at least part of the living room because I want
Yeah.
a floor to ceiling fireplace all the way up to the roof. I'm like so attached
That
to
is
this idea,
slay.
right? I just think it would
I
look really
love
good in a
that.
barn dominium. It feels like an old farmhouse thing to have. And everything
Mm-hmm.
else we're doing like pretty sparse. We're going to be living in it as we're finishing it out ourselves. So it's kind of like for me like the one design splurge kind of that I
Mm-hmm.
want like a floor to ceiling fireplace. I'm thinking limestone because we have that in the area.
There's a lot of
Um,
that. Yeah.
we have lots of it. So we'll see. I'm super, super jazzed though. So by next
That's
Christmas, we
so
should be in the new
exciting.
house, which is
Oh
just
my
so
God.
nice.
With imagine how much room for stockings,
Oh my
on
God.
that fireplace.
Literally, I was like, and I want a cow print stocking. And Javi was like, okay, all right, okay, whatever makes you happy.
I will literally get you one myself.
Thank you. I
Make sure
have
you have it.
for some reason I used to hate all animal print, but I've become like kind of into cow print. And I honestly think it's only ever since because I thought it was so funny when I was nursing my child to
You're
wear cow print because I was like, "Ha,
yeah.
I'm a dairy cow." And everyone else is like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Do you get it?" Because I'm making milk like a cow. Like,
I thought it was funny when you
thank
opened it
you.
up because it got brought up at your baby shower
Yeah,
somehow. Did
it
you
did.
get the present then? Yeah.
Yeah, I got
Anyway, that was
two
funny.
car seat covers that were cow
I
print.
loved it.
But it was a car seat cover that also works as a nursing cover because it was like
Mm-hmm.
stretchy. And I like had to explain to people like why it was so funny and why it
Because
was
milk,
awesome. Because milk, because
milk,
nursing a baby, like how
moo.
moo. For some reason, I've just like really liked cow print since
It's
then.
funny. I agree. I mostly dislike all animal print, especially like cheetah print and
Oh,
zebra.
mm-hmm.
Disgusting.
Mm-mm.
But I do like a cow print. I think because it's very like kitschy. It's like
It
fun.
does. It
It
is, and
knows
I
it's
like
being fun.
it's exactly what it is. It totally
Yeah.
knows it's being fun. I like the brown and white cow print. It
Ooh,
feels
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
homey to me for
Yeah.
some reason. But the
Yeah.
black and white is like fun and spunky. And there is a
Yeah.
Bucky's jacket. It's like a Bucky's fleece jacket that's black and white cow print. And I want it, but also mid-December and I'm wearing a sundress because it was so hot today. So like how often am I gonna actually wear that?
Don't
I
worry. In
need
January, we'll all be freezing.
Yeah, it's
It'll
true.
be horrible.
It's so I keep trying to remind myself of that because like the second that it gets like really truly cold for more than like 3 days, I'm like, I hate this.
Yeah, me
And then
too.
it gets really, really hot, and I'm like, I hate this.
Mhm.
Like I
Yeah.
was, I was telling someone yesterday, I was like, I don't think anybody stays in Texas for the weather. We stay in spite of the weather, like for other things. Like it's not. There's a lot of things to be said for Texas, but no one, even the Texas lovers, are out here like, you know what's great about Texas? The
I
seasons.
love the weather. Yeah. The lack of seasons. Yeah.
The lack of seasons is my favorite part about
It's
being a
probably like the
Texan.
best part. Yeah, no, it's more like stubbornness. Like, I will
Yeah.
be here. Dang it.
Yeah. Dang it. Yeah. I guess that's kind of an anecdote. Oh, and my son continues to betray me in the sense that we went to the aquarium in Corpus because we were visiting
Oh my
Javi's family.
God.
Yeah. And Riley loves jellyfish. He's like just deeply obsessed. And he's getting more like communicative and will like point to things and talk about them. And sometimes it makes sense and mostly it's just babble. But jellyfish, he
Hmm.
like always points or he'll wave. Even if you're just talking about jellyfish to
Oh,
someone in the vicinity and he's there and hears you, he'll whatever he's doing, he'll look up and he'll just wave because he waves at his
oh,
jellyfish lamp all the time.
that's so
It's
cute.
so cute. He's obsessed. And so I was like, this is great. He loves ocean animals. He loves penguins. We started calling all birds, they're either chickens or not a chickens. And so he got to see a bunch of
Hmm.
not a
Hmm.
chickens, flamingos
Great.
at the aquarium too. It was great. He was fascinated by all the not a chickens. And I just thought my child was going to think that dolphins are cool because they're like bats, stingrays, dolphins. These are my top three favorite animals, followed
Hmm.
by wolves and tigers. Like
Hmm.
that's the order. It's been pretty solid for a long time. But
Yeah.
dolphins are up there in the top three. And so we got to see the stingrays, which I love. And I recently
Hmm.
learned that apparently they're like as smart as parrots. So who knew?
Really?
Yes.
I
I
did
was
not
like,
know that about stingrays.
that's what they told me. That's what the aquarium lady told me. I was like,
Wow.
I
The more
knew
you
it.
know.
I sensed it. I knew it.
I've always sensed there was greatness in them. So
Since there was greatness, we had a connection. We have a connection, me and the stingrays. So that was
you see,
awesome.
I too am as smart as a parrot.
Or, I too aspire to someday be as smart as a parrot. I'll get there.
I too can say words like a
I
parrot.
too. I said the
I don't
word
know if you know that.
communicative earlier, and Javi was like, "That's too many syllables. Like, find a different way to say it." He does not like when I use big words, which, like,
Get over it. He's married to
yeah,
an English major.
yeah,
Like,
for real. I'm like,
yeah.
it's not like I sprung this on you out of nowhere, dude. He's also lately been saying he hates when people say "that's fair" to something, and I was like, I have said that my entire life that I can remember. He's like, I've never heard you say that once, and I'm like, I
I
have
always say that's
witnesses.
fair.
Like, I think it's like
Or fair
very
enough.
normal.
I
Fair
would
enough.
say.
Yeah, it's a super normal thing to say. He's like gets weird things. Like if you say that's the thing and you say something, he's like, "Stop saying that's the
Uh,
thing." And I'm like,
that's the
"Why?"
thing.
Yeah, but that's the
Yeah.
thing.
I
See,
guess
it's
everyone
just
has
constant.
their own. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
hate
that's
when
his
people
thing.
say anyways. And I'm sure I brought this up before. Instead of
Anyways.
anyway,
Ew, I don't think you
that
have, or I haven't
that is
noticed it.
my pet peeve.
Interesting.
Anyways, I'm like, you mean anyway? Anyways is not a thing. Anyway. Ah! Anyway.
Anyway, just kidding.
So, anyways, yeah.
So
Now you know.
now I know. I can't believe I didn't know that
You can
before.
torture me with it if you want. Yeah.
I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna keep that one in my back pocket.
You just you look so mischievous and I think I'll save it.
Because I absolutely am going to save it and use it. Um, but
See me
anyways,
twitch.
so
Oh.
I do that to Carissa all the time. It's very easy. She has a lot of things that like get under her skin. All I have to do is like be
Mhm.
grammatically incorrect or use a word incorrectly or say a word but like in like a Alice in Wonderland way where it's like not the right version, if that makes sense. Like I'm putting the wrong
Oh
prefix or
yeah.
suffix to it on
Yeah, yeah,
purpose.
yeah.
She
I
hates
think
it.
that's charming and funny.
Thanks. Well, I am charming and funny, so it
Well, of
tracks for me,
course. It's
obviously.
par for the course.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
lately my thing has been saying, well, fork found in kitchen. And I think that's so funny. I didn't make that up, but I love saying
It's
it.
amazing. That is
Well,
funny.
fork found in kitchen.
Oh my God, that's really good. I like that so much. I agree. That's very funny. I'm gonna start using that. Javi's gonna be like, "What?" Sometimes I'm like, "Did I really marry the dumb surfer?" I did. I did.
You're looking at him like, oh, are you dumb?
Oh, I forgot. You're an idiot. Ah, it's so hard to be
Ella,
the
listen.
intellectual superior.
It's so
It's
hard to
so
be smarter
difficult.
than everyone. Oh.
Oh my God. Anyways, the dolphins. The dolphins. Also the intellectual superiors of the ocean.
Yeah.
So we're down like the viewing area or whatever, right? And there's all the dolphins
Hmm.
who are like mostly they're like rescue dolphins. And so one of them's like, this is not exactly related to the point, but this one's got like crazy scars and stuff. And whenever I see a
Oh,
dolphin like that somewhere, I'm like, what is your life story? Like if dolphins could write books, I'd read your memoir. And
yes,
I
sir.
wouldn't read most people's memoirs. So like just they've
Yeah.
been through it. I feel inspired.
Yeah.
So, and they always give dolphins like adorable names, like Liko, Moko, and I'm like,
Yes.
ah, you sweet little babies.
They're so like preppy. Yeah.
They really
Like
are. They're all like, we're having a good time, but basically, like nobody
Lulu the
was in the
dolphin.
exactly, exactly. So there's no one in the viewing area. It was just us, which was amazing. So it's like we're like by the big glass wall or whatever, and you can see the dolphins, and they're all coming by. And I'm just thinking, this is amazing because first of all, nobody's here, and so it's
Yeah.
just me and Riley's never seen dolphins, and so I've got him up by the window with me because it's all like thick, so like he can stand and put his hands on the glass and not be obnoxious or anything. Not like when
Yeah.
he was like, "Hello, Kendall's fish," trying to like get to your fish, and I was like, "Dude, like, oh, they don't like it." Oh man,
Oh, he's
yeah.
fine.
But I was like, "Look at these dolphins," and so a huge, beautiful dolphin swims by, and I've heard like that some dolphins like find like young children interesting. And I was like, I wonder
Oh,
if they're gonna like notice or anything. And I don't know that they did at first, but I do think one of them did finally notice Riley because she kept coming by, and every time she'd come by, she'd like snap her jaws, and it made this like audible like sound
oh, I've had
every
them do that.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so cute, but she only did it every time she'd like circle the whole thing
Oh,
and come
she's
back
saying
and
hi.
yeah, she turned on her back, she swam by and looked at him and just every time. And I was like, look how
Oh.
cute this is. He could not have given a shit. Like, he did not give a shit about these dolphins. He didn't care. He's like, back to the jellyfish mother. Like, did not care. So weird. And then, like, we're there for
He's
so
like,
long.
whatever.
They started, like, I've never got heard them be so vocal. They were like chirping to each other. And it's like,
Hmm.
it makes your ears buzz. Like, it's crazy
Yeah.
all the chirps and clicks and whistles, and I was like, this is so cool. And then they started like playing together in front of us. Like they were
Oh.
doing flips and stuff and just like being such little goofballs, but so interesting and so sweet. And he just like I could not get him to like come look at the dolphins. He was like, I'm gonna crawl away across the dirty carpet. Where's dad?
Oh
And
no.
so I was just like Javi was just trying to get a cute picture of me and Riley in front of the dolphins because I love them, and Riley wasn't having
Yeah.
it. And then Javi was just cracking up because every time I was like, look at the dolphin, it'd be like a dolphin, like just on the other side of the glass looking directly at Riley. And he would just like completely look away and be like, Dada, and then crawl off to Dada. And I was
It's
just
like you
like,
see him every day. This is a dolphin.
this is a dolphin. And so, but
Riley.
finally, like we moved on finally to the next area. And I swear he was like, like sigh of relief, glad we're done with those big stupid fishies. bring me back to my jellyfish. Like he was just could I was just so
He had eyes only for those jellyfish.
only for the
That's so
jellyfish
sad.
and the Nada chickens. It was really sad. I hope that he grows
That is
out of that.
disappointing.
Yeah. My
Riley,
first time
you're
I've ever
gonna
been
have to work
disappointed
on
in him.
yourself.
I know. 14 months old. This is officially his first disappointment.
We'll have to bring this up to him when he's older. Riley, it
Yeah,
all started going downhill when you were 14 months old.
you're 14 months old and you didn't respond with a bunch of enthusiasm to the Dolphins. So that's when I knew that
So
you were going to be a
I've been
problem.
waiting for your apologies.
Yeah, it's
Now that
fine.
you can talk.
Now that you can talk, I do expect an apology. I'm going to let you think about it.
Right. Yep.
Yep. So that's my
Aw,
long
Riley.
anecdote.
I liked that anecdote a lot.
Thank you. With lots of segues because that is who I am. Uh, I suppose we can get into the book.
The book.
The book. We
Talking
could
about the
do
book on our podcast.
about
I
books.
do not know. It's not. It's quite so different for us. We usually do more of the
If
how you
the
say Kit Kat.
I was literally gonna say chit chat. God, I love that. All right. Well, we could start with first impressions of this book.
Yeah, all right, all right, all right. We've literally been doing first impressions for so long, and I still always forget that we do first impressions.
I
I'm like, oh
still feel like it's
yeah,
brand new. I'm like, we're gonna do our new segment, first impressions,
our
every
new
time.
segment.
It's not new. It's been around. Same with like lessons learned. I'm like, how
Yeah, oh
fun.
yeah. I'm like, our new segment, lessons learned. Over half the episodes have lessons learned.
My brain just fully turns off. But yeah, do you wanna give your
Oh.
first impression first, or do you want me to go first?
I can go first.
Okay.
My first impression, I think the cover is darling. I love the cover.
So
I'm like
freaking cute.
obsessed with it. It's so cute.
Yep.
It's like y'all go look up. Oh yeah, did we say what book it is?
Oh,
Guys, we're reading
probably,
Merry
yeah.
Little Match by
Yes.
Celine Rachelle this week.
Yes.
So go look up the cover for that book, or if
So
we are doing a
beautiful.
video. I don't know if anyone.
Yeah,
But
if you
anyway,
guys find us on YouTube, it's right there.
yeah.
Our background.
And it says there's a little tagline. "'Tis the season to get even." How cute is that?
Adorable.
And it has two little people on it. Will they fall
What?
in love? I don't know, probably.
Probably
And
right. I hope
then
so.
yeah, I love the cover. And I was like, well, oh, my other first impression was I was excited about it being like mid 19th century rather than like Regency. Um I was like, hell yeah, some
Oh my
Victorians,
God.
some big skirts. We need some big skirts up in here. I was like, hell yes,
Only
this is
you
what
would
I
be
like to
like
see.
differentiating that. Like,
Where it's set in 1866, which is like my jam. I
yeah,
love anything that's like 1850 to like 18 to like 1900. That's
yeah.
my favorite. So anyway, so those are my first impressions. What about you?
First impression was the same. Like, this is the most adorable little cover, and I found this because Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
because the author is doing an absolutely excellent job promoting this book. Like,
She is doing great.
fantastic.
Yeah.
She's doing wonderful. And so she has like all these like little like Christmas videos about the book, and she's got like Christmas decorations in the back and like the book in front. And I was just like, this is the vibe. This is the Christmas vibe. This is what I want to achieve with like my Christmas decorations. This is the
Yes, yes,
cozy
yes, yes.
Christmas like Victorian energy
Yeah, like a
I
traditional
want.
Christmas kind of
Yes.
energy.
But fun too, because it's like, ooh, is
Yes.
there going to be revenge? Like fun and
I know. I'm like
exciting. Yeah.
enemies to lovers. I'm
Love
intrigued.
it. So tell me more. Yeah, and I
I
think
mean,
that the
like,
cover
even
is like
go ahead.
I love when we do that.
Sorry. I was
You're
interrupting
good.
you, and then I was like, oh, I'll stop interrupting. And then
Oh,
you
I was just like,
paused to
what
let me
what?
interrupt you. So no, go ahead. Go
Oh my
ahead.
God. I was just gonna say the cover looks like it would be like a Barnes and Noble classic edition, like one of like the really nice classics. Like that's
Yes.
what the design looks like.
Yes.
So that was
Exactly.
fun.
Exactly. Couldn't agree more. I love it.
That's all I have for first
Um,
impressions.
oh, okay.
What were you
Uh,
gonna what were you gonna interrupt with? I want to know so bad.
I don't even remember. It was like, what were you saying? You were saying it wasn't about the cover. Before you started talking about the
Revenge?
cover. Oh, I was
Revenge,
going to
enemies
say
to
enemies
lovers.
to lovers. I was going to say, listen, I'm not even, enemies to lovers is not even my main thing, but I don't know how anyone would not enjoy a good enemies to lovers. You know what I mean? Even if it's not
Yeah,
like your thing, it's like, it's a little your thing,
right?
right?
Yeah, I think
I
it's
don't
like
know.
eggnog, you know?
It's like,
Like
it's
every
like,
now and then a
you'll
sip
have a
is
little bit.
good. I'll
Yes.
have a little bit. It's the pumpkin pie.
It's the pumpkin pie.
Oh, even our analogies are
Exactly.
like extremely festive. You guys are all so welcome. Just
We're on top of
ignore
it.
the fact that we look like we're dressed for a hot summer's day.
That we're going to the beach. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, oh, I'm gonna obviously get us off track, but because here's my other
Go ahead.
anecdote. Riley got to go to the beach for the first time because it is still absolutely warm enough to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got to like put him in the ocean for the first time. And he is so the child of me and my husband. He toddled directly into the waves, immediately got splashed,
Oh.
almost knocked on his butt, splashed up to his chin with water. And like it's a little chilly. It's definitely not too cold to swim, but it's Texas,
Yeah.
so it's chillier in December, whatever. But cold enough
Yeah.
he had like little goosebumps, and he did not care. Also up to his chin in water, and he was still trying to like
Oh,
power into the waves. I was
baby.
like, "You can't swim in the ocean, dude." But he was
Oh.
thrilled. He like did not want to get back out of the water. Finally, we just let him sit there in the sand and like play around. And he tried to eat the sand, and
Oh.
he was surprised it didn't taste good. It was just like wet dirt, and I was like, "Yeah, that's what it is."
He's like, I don't get it.
It's very strange.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
but
send me pictures of Beach Riley. What
I
the
will. I'll
heck?
send. They're like the cutest. He is just was so funny because I have a habit of like not realizing how far I've gone into the water because I always go like wading in, and I
Yeah.
just the horizon is mesmerizing. So I'm just like I keep moving towards it.
Sound like a sailor about to be shipwrecked. Like,
That's probably a lot what it's like.
oh
And
my God.
apparently Riley has the same instinct to just like go into the horizon,
He's like, no one
not to be
stop me.
stopped. Yeah. Here, I'm sending you some pictures right now.
Oh, sweet
Anyways, yeah, so
baby.
there's my you said beach and it reminded me. Um, we could talk about the author. It's Celine Rachelle, right?
Celine. I'm assuming
Celine.
that's how I've always pronounced that name.
Yep.
But yes, she oh
I
my
don't
God.
know her zodiac sign. I will
I
say that
found it
off the
out.
bat.
I
You
found
did?
it out. May 20th. Sorry
She
if the
Taurus?
author listens to this. And I found it out through sneaky means. So I the spirit of our
Oh
pod
my God.
astrologist was kept working through me.
Yeah.
Um,
I have to look that
but
up.
May
Where's
20th,
May
which
20th?
makes her a
Taurus.
Taurus.
Okay. That's what I thought. I was just double checking myself.
I
She's a Taurus. That makes a lot of sense. This feels like it was written by a Taurus.
I can see that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love Tauruses.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
think she
salt
is
of the earth.
so so true. They
So
really
true.
are.
Oh
But
gosh.
yes, I so yeah, Taurus,
Wow, I'm
and
impressed.
she
Lives
in
in
the
Northern
acknowledgement.
California.
Yes,
I know that because I looked it up.
there
Is
we
it
go. I love
creepy to be an author that we talk about on here? I'm like, they're like, she was born
probably.
May 20th. Her
Well,
zodiac sign is Taurus. She lives in Northern California. She's got two children and a
here's her
husband.
address. Yeah, exactly. Those are basically also just the facts I know about her. So
Yeah.
she, I guess, had a podcast as well.
Yeah.
Was mentioned in the acknowledgments
Yeah. I
or
noticed that in the
wanted to do a
acknowledgments, but I
podcast.
didn't know. And I don't know, like, full disclosure. So this is an independent author, which is wonderful. I usually, when we've done books from independent authors in the past, it's been because they've reached out and we've been like, that sounds great.
Right.
We would love to read your book. This, I just stumbled across what she was posting because we already followed her. I don't remember when I followed her or why. Super glad that I did. But at some point, I must have followed her from our pod account. Didn't even realize she had a podcast. I was just like, look at all this great book
Yeah.
stuff. She's so creative. And yeah, so that's how I found this and super glad.
Yeah. I was thinking that too because we have done like self-published like independent authors before, but usually it's been like an interview or like
Yeah.
like they sent it to us or something. So
Yeah.
this is
This
a
is the
little
first one
different
I think
for
that we just
us.
like, yeah, we just stumbled on it. Yeah.
And it's because she's doing a great job marketing it.
She really is. Yeah. Is and
Um,
like there's not a lot of like Christmas stuff out there. So that was also it was nice. It was totally seasonal. I love
yes.
I'm like weirdly like OCD about like seasonal things. Like that's why it's killing me a little bit that I'm wearing a sundress. Like it's not in season. It's upsetting. So this book is like perfect. So
Yeah,
perfect.
it's I felt very festive last night when I was reading it. I have my little like cranberry and snow scented candle. I don't know what snow is supposed to
Ooh,
smell like, but it does smell good. And then I was like drinking hot chocolate and reading it, and the Christmas tree was on, and I was like, now
so
hold on.
nice.
This is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. I was reading it outside under our Christmas lights that we never took down from last year, which is a great hot tip for if you don't like putting up your lights every year. Just leave them up. That's what the rednecks do. They know what's up, man. They it
Just
turns out
leave
they
them.
absolutely know. Just
It's
leave them up.
fine.
So I was sitting out there though, like with my one of my wedding glasses, basically that we got that's like thick, like Wexford glass. So sometimes I have like hot mulled wine in it in the
Nice.
winter. So I was sitting out there and it was when it was actually cold and like just reading my book under the Christmas lights with my hot mulled wine. And it was so incredibly satisfying.
Impeccable.
Yeah.
I love that. I think they drink mulled wine in the book too.
I think they do. I think they also drink wassail.
They did. Yeah, I remember that.
I
I was
love
all
that.
excited.
Did they drink eggnog? I don't remember.
I don't remember, but they were definitely being very festive.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to be at this party.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
How come I never invited to a Yuletide ball at a manor?
Dude, for
What
real.
the hell?
I I'm going to a cocktail party. I got
Oh,
invited to a Christmas cocktail party from one of Hobby's coworkers. Apparently they have like a nice house and they're
whoa.
having a cocktail party. And I was like, I don't even know like what one wears. How does one conduct themselves at a cocktail party? I'm just a little redneck woman who left her Christmas lights up all year long. I don't know. Like, so psyched.
Oh, that's so exciting. That'll be
Yeah,
fun.
I feel
Get
so
to wear
fancy.
have a little red lip, perhaps.
Oh,
I,
yes. Is there any?
of course.
Yes. I mean, I feel so naked when I'm not wearing a red lip. I would literally put on like a little bit of colored like lip balm and I was like, I feel underdressed. I feel naked.
Something's not right.
Yeah, people were just like, "Oh my God, is your kid okay? It looks like he's got a bruise forming." And I'm like, "No, it's lipstick. I kissed him." Like he always had like lipstick on.
He just constantly has lipstick on his cheek.
Yeah.
Oh, he's well loved, sweet
He's
baby.
very well loved. He's also so long and gangly right now. He kind of looks like an alien sometimes. Like I'm like,
Alien baby.
alien baby has been Remember that book that I was writing that had only the working title? Pregnant with Alien Baby? Nobody take it. TM, it's mine.
I love Pregnant with Alien Baby so much.
Maybe it was
Oh
just
my God, thank you
prophetic.
for
It was just
reminding me of
prophecy.
that.
You're so welcome.
It was literally
Oh
you.
my God. Was literally. Wait, if I get pregnant again, I think I just need to make a shirt that says pregnant with alien baby with like arrows pointing to the stomach.
Would be like,
Be like,
okay.
like you just don't get it.
Yes,
Just look at my
you
son, you'll get
wouldn't
it.
get it. My
He looks
heart.
like an alien. Pregnant with
Yes.
alien baby. I need to go work on that book some. Anyways,
I you do need to get back on Pregnant with Alien Baby.
I know you've all been like hankering for more information about it. Everyone's like, when was she gonna bring it up again? It's on my TBR.
I've been I've been like not reading other books so that I'll have time for Pregnant with
With
Alien
alien
Baby.
baby. Maybe next year. Maybe it'll be out next year and you guys can give that as a Christmas gift to all of your worst enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ideal.
You'll love it.
Oh, God.
Oh
Okay.
my
Anyways, the book.
goodness.
We're actually still doing
Yeah.
shockingly fine for it's only 45 minutes in and we're still about to talk about the book. Like, not to brag on us, but like We
Could
are
have been way
on the ball
worse.
today.
Yeah,
We've
yeah,
been
yeah,
way worse.
yeah. I don't
Oh
hear
my
any
God.
complaints. 5-star reviews only. If you don't
Yeah.
have nice things to say, get out of here. Sorry, you're not in the club.
Yep.
And I
Sorry.
don't care. Get out.
Yeah.
This is for fun.
This is for fun.
This is for fun, you guys.
Aren't you having fun?
That's the way to really garner a viewer or listenership, right? Just
Yeah.
make fun of them and tell them they're not
Hmm.
included.
Oh, to
That's
threaten them? Yes,
threaten
to
them and yeah,
threaten them
yeah.
into giving us 5-star reviews. I think it perhaps is yes is the most effective.
I think what could go wrong?
What other like toxic traits can we like toxic tactics can we use to try and all the cool kids are doing it. Are you even
Yeah,
cool if you don't leave us a 5-star review?
we're like doxing the 1-star review people. I'm like, oh yeah, well, we found your zodiac sign and address.
So, oh.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's
Yeah, we don't
I
have the
would
time
never.
for that or the
No,
skill.
or
Oh
the
wait, we didn't
talent.
we
Yeah.
have a there was a red pen point, a zodiac sign that we did find recently, or rather that our pod astrologist
Or
found.
yes,
I forgot I was
there
gonna
was
red pen
one,
point
but
that.
I think it was a book that I didn't do. Um,
Hmm. So it should be one that I remember, but I don't. It's okay. If we come across it,
uh,
then we can
Astrid.
share.
Oh no, it was Astrid Schulte was born January 17th. Wasn't that for
Yeah.
before Queens?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Four dead
January
queens.
17th, Capricorn.
Oh wow, look at that. She's a Capricorn. Wow.
Capricorn. So she
So
would
there's
be
your red
from
pen
that
point, y'all.
the boring kingdom with all the smart people. That's the
Yeah,
Capricorn vibe.
probably, yeah.
Which
Interesting.
anyway. That's
All
why I don't
right.
fit in as a Capricorn because I'm not smart enough. I'm stupid.
Oh my God, you are one of the most intelligent people that I know and
No,
incredibly
I'm too
creative.
silly to be a
You are
Capricorn.
silly. You're silly
I'm
in the
too
best ways.
stupid.
Well,
Okay.
not that. I'm like,
Let me
thank
have
God
this.
Kendall's here, or we can't read classics because I need you to explain them to me.
Oh yes, he's reading Dick being that obsessed with Dickens, the point of
Sign of
running off
intelligence, probably.
romantic partnerships is definitely the smart thing to do. Okay.
Oh my
How
God.
about he's laughing. How about let's do the book?
Oh, should we? How many times are we going to tease that we're going to
How,
do the book before we
yeah,
actually
we're
do the book?
this is for real. This
For real, for real, for real, for real. Right,
for
for real.
real, you guys, for real, for real, for real.
Promise, promise. I did finish reading this like a week ago. So for in Ash time, that's
Okay,
like
I
eons
finished
ago.
last night, so I can help out a lot
Sweet.
if you need.
Okay.
So our
Well,
main
so
character's
our
name is Clara.
perfect. Yep. Clara. That was literally exactly what I was gonna say, exactly like
The
that.
way you said it, that was like, yeah, I know that. Like,
No, I was just like, you literally said exactly what I was gonna say with exactly the intonation I was gonna
so
say it.
our
And I
main
was like,
character's name is
Clara. It's Clara. Yep. And she has a sister,
yeah,
Evie. Is it
Evie.
Evie? Is her older
Yeah,
sister?
Evie,
Yes.
older sister.
Older
Yeah.
sister. Yeah. This is very much
Mhm.
like
And
a
there,
Jane Bennett and Elizabeth Bennett dynamic.
it is very Jane and Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Like Clara has a lively and playful disposition,
Yep.
and Evie is like very beautiful but demure.
And
You know,
perfect. Yeah. But
yeah.
I do think Claire is a little more like less like socially adept than Elizabeth. She has
Clara's
some Kitty and Lydia
crazier
in
than
there.
Elizabeth. Yes,
Yeah, she's
yes, yes, yes.
yeah, throwing all the younger sisters besides Mary. Mash Mary
Yes,
and
do them
Jane up
all in together.
together. And then that's yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So good. Yeah.
So yeah, their dad is very ill,
Hmm.
but every year and they're like they have a big manor. They're like the Ashfords and they have
They're wealthy people.
they're very well off. Yes. They're
Mm.
nobility. And every year they have this big Yuletide ball that goes through Christmas up to like
It's like a big sleepover. It's
yeah.
awesome. It's like, what is it, like a fortnight of parties or something? I forget how long it is, but yeah,
Yeah, because
so
it goes to
cool.
like the 12th day of Christmas or something. So it's
Yeah.
like so fun.
Hmm.
And then but this year is sadder because their dad is really sick and he can't participate and he also might die.
And if he
And
dies because
so
they're only
much
lowly women, then the estate's gonna go to cousin Rupert. Rupert, right?
yeah,
Yeah. And
Rupert.
he's gross and we hate him.
Boo.
Boo
He's definitely
Rupert.
on the hate squad.
Hate squad, absolutely.
Absolutely. Like pretty
Absolutely.
high on the hate squad, I would say.
Yeah, like he really is. He's like
Disgusting.
worse
Is there
than Wickham.
anything?
He's
He's worse than Wickham. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like right up there next to what's it, Tom Buchanan, I feel like.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Hmm.
Is there like, I don't think there's anything redeemable about him. Like, I don't think there's any
No.
good thing that goes for him at all.
No.
So
And it started,
that
I was
that
like, is
he
this going to be
sucks.
like a Mr. Collins thing? Because he sends a letter basically making it, this is the beginning, before the like festival or whatever begins, that he's making his intentions known, that he wishes to establish a more of a attachment or a connection between him and Evie. He remembers her being so lovely last time. And so his
Yeah.
letter is like very like schmoozy. And
Yeah.
basically makes it clear that he intends to take over the estate, but he wants to marry Evie, which so they'll, not lose their whole home and everything.
Right.
Um,
Which is like, great. Too
yeah.
bad you're the worst.
Yeah, and then the more you learn about him, you're like, he's not even Mr. Collins. Mr. Collins would be so much
No,
better.
Mr. Collins is an angel compared to cousin Rupert.
Yeah, for real. God, he sucks so bad.
And so
Bless
Clara
Evie.
has, yeah, poor Evie. Clara as has it in her head that like, okay, well, maybe Evie can fall in love at the Yuletide ball instead, and then we
She's
won't have to get
crazy.
deal with
She is
Rupert.
wild. She's like always scheming. She's like, I have a plan.
She's
And I'm
like,
like, this
hmm.
feels a little far-fetched, Claire, but I want to see where you're gonna go with it. And oh
Yeah,
yeah, it was funny. So that's
yeah.
happening. And then like
She's
the other POV is Nicholas, right? And
yeah,
his
Nicholas, his friend Theodore.
yes, so essentially the Darcy and Bingley
Nicholas
of
Croft,
the group.
Theodore Middleton. Yeah, the Darcy and Bingley. Which I would like to say, I think that the names in this book are really good.
They're
I enjoy
very
all the
good.
names.
Yeah.
Theodore Middleton,
I think it
Clara
was
Ashford.
perfect. I have had a problem sometimes when like reading historical fiction when it's supposed to be like very much like in a certain era where the names just
Mhm.
don't quite sit right. But I felt like the names were
Yes.
perfect in this. I was like, I believe it.
Yes. And
Absolutely.
they're a little bit like festive as well. Like
Yeah,
Clara makes me
they
think
are.
of the Nutcracker.
Yeah.
Evie is
There's
somehow festive.
isn't
I
there a
don't know. It's cute.
holly in there?
Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Holly, there's a Noel.
Yeah. Nicholas Saint Nick,
Nicholas. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like
Theodore's just,
cute.
Ted. Good old
He's
Teddy
vibing.
boy.
Good old Ted.
Good old Ted, sweet boy. And he's kind of like a player, but a
Yeah.
good-hearted one. Like he's not like
Yeah.
everybody knows he's a player. He's not making his intentions like unclear at all. He's just here for a good time.
Yes.
He's a big
It's like
flirt, rather. He's a
a
huge flirt.
kind-hearted rake. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. A kind-hearted rake. And yeah, and a good
And
friend. And Nick took over his family's, what is it called? What's it?
well, his is
The English
they're
thing.
rich too. So their
Yeah.
estate, they're like he's like basically the Anthony Bridgerton of the situation because it's like now he has no fun and he's like sad all the time because he's in
Yeah.
charge of everything.
Yeah.
And so that sucks. And
Yes.
his this isn't like Anthony Bridgerton, but his fiance he hates Clara because he blames Clara for the way that he found out about his fiance cheating on him with his own brother. So that was crazy.
Crazy. All that happens
And
like before, like that's also what I loved. Like there was clearly such a well-established history with these people in their lives before like we see like this Christmas story. Like
yeah.
I wonder if Celine's going to like write other stories like with this group that aren't like specifically Christmas because
Yes.
she could. There's
That
clearly
could be
such like a
cute.
deep history there.
Yeah, like one where
Very
they all go
interesting.
on like holiday together or something. I
Yeah,
don't know.
exactly. Or we're like,
It'd be
what about
very
the
cute.
one where like, what about where we actually see Nick finding out about his fiance? Like, what was that situation? Because Clara was friends with his fiance. They were like close friends.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
basically she was like trying to distract him because Margaret, the fiance, was trying to like talk to the brother about Nicholas, like, hey, things haven't been going so great or whatever. But
Yeah.
then it turns out they're just making out in the
Yep.
like library or whatever.
Yep.
And they accidentally stumbled in there. And so Nicholas thinks that Clara was in on it and is like
Yeah.
very embarrassed and sad.
And Clara had no idea.
No, she didn't know, but they hate each other because of this.
Yeah, 100%.
Uh,
Well, he hates her, and she's
he hates
just like, I
her.
don't have the time for someone who's going to be so annoying.
Yeah. And she's like, he's no fun at all. And I'm really fun. So why would I care? Um,
Exactly what it is. He's no fun at all, and I am really fun.
that's like their
Oh,
whole
God.
thing.
It is. You're so right.
So there are those two are going to the Christmas ball. And yeah, there's a lot of like little cute
Vignettes.
vignettes of yes, things that happen at the ball. Like
Yeah.
it's funny, like they get there late because their carriage breaks down and then they like stumble into the dining room while everyone's eating dinner and it's very embarrassing. And it's like, and Claire's like, oh, great, this guy,
This
you know, that
guy.
kind of
Yeah.
thing.
And he's like,
And
oh,
then Claire,
this girl.
yeah, he's like amazing. Can't wait to spend all my Christmas with her.
Best year of my
Um,
life.
and they end up having to share like adjoined rooms. Like their rooms
The
have a door that goes between
scandal.
them. It is
Scandal.
very scandal. I was like, this was a big oversight on the part of Mama
Huge
Ashford.
oversight.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
One might
shit.
even wonder if it was intentional.
Yeah, like girl.
Yeah.
It is nuts.
Yeah.
So of course they're very upset about that. But they clearly
And
think
the
each
rest of
other's
us are
hot.
like, woohoo, we're only one step away from there only being one bed.
I know.
So
There are
good.
still two beds, but we're getting closer.
We're getting
Yes.
closer. It's almost just one room, adjoining door. You know what that means.
Oh.
Oh God. Yeah, it was exciting. I
There's
was like, this is
like,
gonna be good.
yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. So there's like that. They go
Yeah.
like ice skating.
His
Oh,
first
but
night there,
Clara,
Clara's like running around in her nightgown basically
yeah,
and like runs directly into Nick and he's I mean fully scandalized.
he's
She's like
so, yes.
she's like a little embarrassed. She's so funny because when she gets embarrassed, she gets like irate. She's basically like, "How
Yeah.
dare you? How dare you look at me?" And he's like, "What am I supposed to do? You're running around in your nightgown." And she's like, "Don't look at me. Stop looking at me. Don't
He's
look at
like,
me."
you're disgusting. He's like, what did I do?
I know.
Yeah.
She's like, "Gosh, you're such a creep." Like, goes back to her room.
I know. He's like, okay, good night. Like, God, I don't even want to
She's
be
such
here.
a mess. I love her so much.
Yeah, she's funny.
Don't look at me. Are you
Um,
looking? Don't look. Don't look at me. Are you looking
are
at
you
me? Don't
looking?
look at
Don't
me.
even look at me.
God, I love her
so,
so much.
while so while like they're being upset at each other all the time,
Mhm.
Theodore and Ivy are getting along really great, and
Evie,
they keep hanging. Yeah, Evie. Well, I did not say Ivy. Yeah,
the
okay,
holly and the
Evie,
ivy.
the Holly and the Ivy.
That is one.
Ivy could have been a character. So
Absolutely.
Theodore and Evie. So sorry, apologies to Evie.
It's okay. Ivy is your
Are
self-insert.
yeah, she's just like shaking her head at everything that goes on.
My
Um,
self-insert, I don't know what her name is, but she is sitting in the corner, not sitting. She's standing in the corner, drinking way too much eggnog and just watching everything.
yeah, I think your self insert and my self insert are hanging out with Aunt Joe, the like
You're so
fun
correct.
aunt
We're like
who,
the old dude Muppets that just like ha 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 up in the
yeah,
balcony. Yeah, that's what we're doing over there with her.
that's absolutely us. Yeah.
So
People are
good.
like, you guys want to participate? We're like, we're good. We're
No,
just
we're
gonna
good. We're
watch.
good. I'll take another eggnog though. Thanks.
Fill her up. Oh, hello. We're doing like bad British accents because we're and we're
Because
offending everyone there.
because
We're the
we're
only
American.
Americans. We're like,
Can I get a
hey,
can I get a nightcap? Can I just a little more in my cup? Thanks. Can I have some more?
governor, how about you fill her up for me, right?
God bless us, everyone.
I'm like
God.
walking past Claire being like, oh, he's handsome bloke, ain't he? And it's like Nicholas is right there. I'm doing that kind of stuff.
I love that. That's amazing.
We would
I
thrive
think
at this Yuletide
we
ball.
would we would have the best time of
We
anyone there.
We'd be
Aunt Jo would
having
love
way more
us.
fun. She would love
Anyway,
us. We'd be
for
having way
real.
more fun than Clara and Evie.
Yeah, for
They're not
real.
having that much fun.
No, they're
Um,
not.
Poor things. And so they like go ice skating and they
Oh, there's
go,
that
there's
the
like,
creepy guy who really is into Clara.
oh
So
yeah,
that's fun.
Percival.
Percival. So she keeps sort of like, I hate the phrase like, jumping on the grenade, like when guys used to talk about like, I'll hit on the chick that you don't like so that you can, be with the whatever.
Right.
But like Clara is basically doing this. She's like, oh, like she's trying to create situations and scenarios for Evie and Theodore to have some time together. And so this
Mm-hmm.
often means instead of doing stuff with Evie, she like takes a step back and goes with another group. And who's there? But freaking Percival. And he is like such a creep. I mean,
He's a creep. Yeah, I don't think he means to be, but he's not getting the hint.
he's Mr. Collins, but creepier. Not
Yeah.
intentionally, but he
Yeah.
is.
Yes.
Yeah, he's so not getting the hint at
He's
all.
like Mr. Collins if Mr. Collins kissed Elizabeth at the ball
Yeah,
at Mr.
yeah.
Bingley's house in front of everybody,
That's exactly correct because that's exactly what happens.
which he
But that
does.
happens, yeah, that happens later. And then Nick is like, I have feelings about this, but I don't know why. But
I'm
when they're ice
so
skating,
man.
when they're ice skating, Nick sees how much Clara is hating Percy, and he's like, "Oh, Percy, perhaps you could come lend like an arm to the young lady or something like that." And she's
Ugh,
like, "I
like
hate you
Nick,
so much,
no.
Nick." I'm like,
Nick,
Nick, just lend her your arm. Damn it.
you idiot. He already likes her too. It's like,
Oh
come
my
on.
God, it's so obvious.
So yeah, those two are it feels very like, well, I mean, I obviously we know they're gonna be together because that's the plot of the book, you can
That's the
tell.
plot.
But it is
Yeah.
kind of like if you're at the ball, you'd be like, well, inevitably.
Yeah.
They just like each other too
Inevitably.
much. I dare say they doth protest too much. Or whatever. Like and we're just in the corner like, she likes him.
I think she likes him too. And we're just like shouting at each other. God.
I'm so undignified at this ball.
Is this why people don't invite us to fancy parties?
Is this why this is our this is your first cocktail party?
Maybe it is. They're like, she cannot control herself. I just like to point out that if Clara wasn't rich, it would be the same way for her. The only reason she gets
Yeah.
away with stuff is because she's
It's
rich.
because she's rich. She's very little decorum, I think. Yeah.
Very little.
She's like, I'll do whatever I want. Um yeah, so there's like little vignettes. I can't remember like the order everything goes in.
Yeah, I can't either.
But I would say like the next big thing might be the ball, right?
That's the
And
next
them
one that I'm
kissing.
thinking of. Is there,
Yeah.
do they go like give food to the needy before the ball?
I think it's the day after because they're acting weird with each
You're
other.
right. Yeah. Yeah. So the next
So
notable thing is, yeah, the Christmas ball.
yeah, they're like at the I guess it's like yeah, Christmas Eve or something. And they're um Clara and Nick have been dancing, but then they kind of both are like, ugh, they don't like me, even though they're both thinking that. And
Yeah.
they also both like each other.
Yeah.
And there's also this other girl who's been flirting with Nick. Her name's Noelle, but she's
Uh,
just kind of boring and he's like not that into her.
and she's
Even
French.
though, and she's French, yeah. Oui, oui.
Oui, oui, oui. She's French and she's too perfect. She's like, listen, Noelle, I'm sure you're great for somebody else, but Nick needs someone with a little bit of chaos in her eyes, and that's
We
Clara.
all knew Nick was gonna yes. They would be so boring together if they
Oh
would ever do
yeah.
anything fun.
Yeah.
Um so yeah. So but then Claire's dancing with Percival and then she's kind of like not thinking about him. She's thinking about Nick, obviously, and so
Yeah.
kind of giving like, yeah, great answers or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he kisses her in front of everybody. And she's like, what?
And
But
not even like a
before
peck,
like a smooch.
a smooch, like a big old
And
sloppy
ugh,
smooch.
the way that she described it, it was
It's
like there was
horrific.
saliva between their
Literally, did you
mouths.
not flash to the Theodore Lawrence III and Joe kissing the Winona Ryder? And yeah,
Ah!
Christian, like when they kiss, and there's just like that
Like Christian
string of
Bale.
saliva. Yeah, in
I forgot
Little
about that
Women.
string of saliva.
I wish I
Oh
could
my
forget.
God.
It was the
But
first
see,
thing that I thought of.
I wish you hadn't reminded me because I was just thinking the other day, Little Women is so Christmas. You know what? I want to watch the Winona Christian one.
Yeah, it's a wonderful one.
I
Aside, the only
believe
flaw in the whole thing is the saliva and the
the
kiss.
saliva. It's like, guys, please, we could have done another take.
For real. For real.
Gross.
I don't
No,
understand.
you're so right. You're
I
so
know.
right.
I know.
Ugh. Well, yeah. So it was like a Winona Christian kiss on this, except for yeah. Oh, I guess it was
Except
like that because she was
worse.
not into it,
Oh
and
yeah,
the
you're right.
like Joe,
Except that
and
they weren't even like friends to begin with. Like,
they were not
ugh,
friends,
no,
and he did not look like Christian Bale.
no.
I'm sure. And
The bare
so then
minimum for a
she's like,
saliva
"What?"
kiss.
Yeah, you at least have to look like
Look
Christian
like
Bale if you're gonna kiss like that.
just a good real rule of thumb. This is now a dating advice show.
Listen, if you're gonna be a sloppy snoocher, you better have a nice kisser. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
So you know,
This is definitely why
so,
we don't get invited to cocktail parties. Oh my God.
so they go so yeah, so Nicholas storms out because he's so mad.
I can't believe
Um
she kissed him. Not that I like
I
her or
can't believe
anything.
not that I like her or have expressed that I like her or anything. But then she's also very upset. And so she
Yeah.
storms out too. And then they run into each other in the garden. And
Mm-hmm.
then, of course, they're having a like, well, I loathe you. Well, I loathe
Love
you.
you. I loathe you
Uh-oh,
first.
now, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yep.
So now we're then suddenly they're making out. And
And it's not a
you know,
gross one.
it's not, it's
No,
very like,
no gross
whoa,
saliva
something
string there.
steamy is happening here in the garden.
Is yeah.
Yes,
In
no
the
saliva
garden.
here in the garden.
It
And
is very steamy though, and I had to be like, oh, that's right, because this is in my head, I was like, this is like a Jane Austen-esque work of fiction, and it is, but also like it's modern. It's a modern writer written in to appeal to a
yeah, so
modern
she's allowed
audience.
to have
Yeah,
a
so I was
snog
like,
in
oh,
there.
you're not allowed to do that. And then I was like, oh, that's right. This is like written for like people today. It's okay. Everything's fine.
Yeah. But those Victorians were much raunchier than we give them credit for. They were
Yeah,
all over the place.
I believe it.
So,
This is so off topic, but do you know, like, I forget which time period it's in, but do you remember that, as you know, historical fashion, there was that like period of time in history where women's hats were made like with the bonnet like increasingly far from their face to discourage men because men would just get all up in their business. And so they were like,
ew.
"You want to try and kiss my face? Good luck." Long
My
ass
bonnet
hat.
is 4 feet long.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Isn't that great?
That's so
Think
funny.
about that sometimes.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
They're like, good luck getting in here. You ain't touching these
Yeah.
lips,
And then
mister.
hat pins also, not that they originated solely for that purpose, but were like
They go,
well known to be used for the purpose of like warding off men, even the ones who were just like
yes.
rakish. And I was like, when did it become unacceptable to stab a man in the hand with a hairpin? I don't understand. How far have we fallen that that's become unacceptable?
I mean, this is insane. Like now
This is 2024, women. Ladies, what are we
we're not
doing?
allowed to use our hat pins against men. Do you know that there's like this one episode of My Favorite Murder that I used to listen to all the time? Like I listened to it like probably 6 times just because it's so funny to me. But I think it might have even been a live episode, but it was like this like Dublin serial killer from
Yes.
like the 1800s.
Yes.
And the lady stabs him with her hat pin.
Yep. Yep.
And he didn't have legs, so he rolled around in that bowl. Do you remember?
I completely forgot about this. Yes, I know that episode. Yes,
Anyway,
it's
that
like a
always makes
fever
me
dream.
yeah. I think of hat pins. I think of him.
God, this is festive. I love this.
Oh my God.
Oh my
So
God.
so
You never
anyway,
disappoint, Spoons.
Clara does Claire does not, neither do you, not use her hat pin on Nicholas. But her
Mm-mm.
friend and sister come out and are like, that's quite enough, I think. And they take Clara back to her room.
And
And
they're like, you
then,
wait here in the garden, young man. So you need to
yeah,
wait like 5 minutes so no one
you
knows that you guys are
rascal.
coming back together. You rascal, you.
Yeah. And he's
Yeah.
like, okay. Um, and then the next day is when they go to like deliver food and gifts and stuff to like the poor people in the village. And Nicholas, he was like, Claire, I just have to ask you really quick. Oh, well,
Oh my
first of all,
gosh.
Percival is riding in the carriage with Claire, or the sleigh with
Oh my
Clara. And he's
gosh.
like, well, I'm so sorry for kissing you. However, I do eagerly anticipate our courtship.
Our
And she's
engagement.
like, we are not engaged, and I'm not going to get engaged to you, and I don't even like you, and I think you have a stupid face. And he's
Yep.
like, oh, I never. And so he gets
What's
so
amazing.
that's done with Percival, thank God. But then Nicholas, when they're going up to this house, is like, Clara, I have to talk to you. He's like, I was all of that just like was that fake or what? Like, are you
So
even
is this
like
just all
you
part
even
of your
like
like
me or
manipulation? Because you're
yeah,
just
because
trying
like
to
I know
get your
you're
sister with Theodore.
yeah.
And
And she's
yeah.
like, how dare you? Goodbye. And
How
I'm
dare you
like,
think so little
honestly,
of me that I would fake a kiss that good? How dare you,
yeah.
sir?
He's like, I'm so sorry. That was the best kiss of your life. Like,
You should be so lucky.
yeah. Even if I was manipulating you, which I'm
Yeah.
not,
Which I wasn't though. But even if
but
I wasn't though, how dare
count
you insinuate that?
count your blessings, Nicholas Croft. So, yeah,
I was like, yeah, you
yeah,
tell him,
like
Clara.
seriously.
Oh gosh.
Oh my god. But then Clara gets all caught up in because she's like, wait a second, I'm a bad person. Because she realizes that she never thinks about anybody
She has
because
an
she's
Emma
rich.
Woodhouse sort of like moment
She
where she's like,
does.
oh, am I like a stuck-up rich girl who doesn't really remember to think about the people around me? Maybe I am.
Hmm.
Hmm. And then she just like, it's kind of like how like Emma's not a bad person. She just forgets to think about things from other people's
Yes.
perspectives.
Yeah.
Very much the same with Claire. She's like just so caught up in like the whirlwind that is her like brain, like and her having
Hmm.
fun all the time. She just like forgets to like pay attention. And then when she does, like
Yeah.
she's like spends all day and like helping out this family and it's really sweet and goes very above and beyond. And it's like okay, I'm going to come back and check on you guys next week. And it's a very sweet, very touching sort of thing. And for Nicholas, he sees it and he's like, oh, she's not just a shallow rich girl. Ooh, I might have made a mistake. Might have miscalculated here.
Whoopsies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's kind of, yeah, that's absolutely what it is. She's having her Emma Woodhouse moment, sort
Yep.
of.
Yep.
But she's being very Beth March
Oh,
with
very
her
much so.
help of
Yeah.
this family.
Yeah.
And
So
so
much so that
yeah.
everyone else goes back and they're like, hey,
Yeah.
we're heading back. Like, you need to, let's go. And then Nicholas is like, well, I can take her back, when she's ready. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
this is not exactly appropriate, but because we all know what's going on here, I'll allow it. Which
Evie's
seemed kind of
like,
like to be what everyone
okay.
else was doing too. They're like,
Yeah.
we'll allow it. Like it's Clara. Like what's the worst? Like her reputation's already not great. She's so rich it doesn't matter. Whatever, she can do what she wants.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's
Like
fine.
Nicholas is so boring. I know. And
He's too boring to
so,
get in trouble. Yeah.
yeah. So they're on the sleigh and they go back, and Clara is like, I'm gonna take a shortcut. And he's like, that's not a good idea. And she's like, I'm gonna do it anyway. And they go on their little shortcut.
Yep.
And then the sleigh gets messed up, and then
Yep.
she cuts out of the sleigh and gets her foot trapped in a bear trap, or not a bear
A
trap, a
fox
fox
trap.
trap.
Because they were gonna have a fox hunt. And does this just not make you go, this is why we shouldn't hunt foxes? Guess you shouldn't have laid out the fox traps, huh?
Yeah, this is just another bone I have to pick with the Brits. Like, how much meat is on a fox?
Yeah.
Hardly any.
It's so
You rich
weird.
bastards. I've had enough of y'all. Like, what the hell?
You
And so,
rich bastards, because all of the British people are rich fox hunting
well,
bastards.
the rich fox hunting bastards I have an issue with. The rest, the
Yeah, and they are
peasants are the
primarily
whatever.
British.
Yeah.
Can't think of any Americans that are rich
Yeah, do
fox
we
hunting
do that?
bastards.
I don't
We
even
don't do
know.
fox hunts. No, not that we
I
don't do
can't
other shitty
imagine
things,
us.
but
We do coyote hunts. The coyotes.
there is a
And
there is a varmint hunt like once a year. It's actually to control the what they're called varmint species. Like it's to control the populations because they can get like out of hand and
mm-hmm,
then everything gets like thrown out of whack. So like
mm-hmm,
one of our friends up the road, he's like they're the couple like the only other like under 60 like people out in this area. But he
uh-huh.
goes on the varmint hunt once a year.
The
And
varmint hunt.
the varmint hunt, they hunt what is it? Wild hog. I
Yeah,
forget. There's like a couple other like nuisance species, but
yeah. That's
definitely
so
not the
funny.
same energy.
I had no idea it was called a varmint hunt.
The
That's
varmint hunt.
so funny.
Yeah, not quite the same as your sophisticated
No, it has
British fox
like
hunt.
come on. Um,
But yeah,
but here I
so
will say this. I was disappointed by this because there is fully I thought we were being set up to, oh no, we have to stay in this hunting lodge overnight.
yeah,
And then we just fully didn't. She
Clara
was
was
like,
really like, well, my foot is like severely injured. Our options are we can ride the horse together and try to get back to the house before dark, or we can say maybe that's not such a good idea and stay in this hunting lodge that's right here
and then they're
overnight.
just, yes, just right there. They like fully were like pointing it out. Like, here's the hunting lodge that we could stay at overnight. And then instead they're like, let's just go back. So I'm like, so what was the point of the
What was the point of the hunting lodge? Was it just to tease us? It was just to dangle it there so that we would be
I
like, oh, amazing. It's
I
frustrating.
guess I was kind of mad. I was like, we can't stay in the hunting lodge for one night. Like, of
I
course, I don't
know.
want her to bleed out. And once they
No.
arrived back at the estate, the doctor was like, oh, yeah, you guys did the right thing by coming back. But I'm
Yeah.
like, screw that. He could have, like, tended to her wound or something.
Yeah.
You
Everyone knows it's
know,
sexy
they
when
would
a
have
man
had
is
to
tending to
cuddle
your
for
wounds.
warmth. It would have to man tends to your
Yes.
wounds, and then you
Oh
have to
my
cuddle him for
gosh.
warmth, a la Nina Matthias. It would have been
Yeah.
hot.
A la Nina
And
Matthias. Celine, I would love an alternate, like,
yeah,
if
where's the
from there to
alternate
the end.
cut?
I want the alternate cut for like if they stayed in the cabin first. It's gotta be possible. How cozy. They could be snowed in together.
They were
And
gonna be
no
snowed
one could
in.
like judge her for impropriety because they have no choice.
And the ground was covered in fox traps, and it
And
was
there's
night,
only
and it
one
was
bed.
snowing, and there was only one
One
bed.
bed.
Like, we had two beds. I thought this was going to be our gateway to one,
Yeah.
and instead it was not.
No, no.
So I want to see release the one bed
Release the
cut.
alternate. Celine, we
Yes,
know you have it.
you have it. I know you have it. Ugh.
She's like, I'm not enjoying this podcast. These women are so strange.
They're yelling at me.
They're yelling at me. They're like looking up facts about my life.
They know my birthday.
Yeah. And they're shouting at me to give up the alternate. What does it mean?
I know she has it. Um. So yeah. So then they go back, and I don't know what happens next.
They go back. The
Peter.
doctor is tending to her wounds. Her father's
Mm-hmm.
doing horribly.
Oh yeah,
And
he's like on death's door.
yeah, and because Rupert is basically just a vulture, he's like senses, basically. He's like, it's time to come and collect, basically. And so he's like, I will be coming to visit my dear cousins. Can't wait to establish my connection with the beautiful Evie. Evie's crush. She's like, well, that's the end of my life. This is what I get for hoping. And Claire's like, no. And she's like, no, Clara, I told you I didn't want to hope. And this is why I didn't want to hope. And then we come to find out that Rupert is even worse than we thought. He
Way
has been
worse.
way worse. He's been like physically intimidating Evie for years. He's been very creepy. He's been very, just overtly threatening. Like, not
Yeah.
just kind of a sleazeball, like overtly threatening to her.
Nasty, nasty man.
He is a nasty man. And
It
also,
was
his
so
business
gross.
dealings are totally illegal. It's like implied from the beginning. Like anyone who gets
Mm-hmm.
into business with Rupert, like they'll invest in whatever, and then like it's like a shipping business, and then the ships will just go down.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So yeah, not good at all.
Yeah,
Disgusting. And I was
disgusting.
like, I was very upset by that flashback. I was like, oh,
It was incredibly upsetting.
I didn't know.
Incredibly.
I was like not prepared.
I also was not prepared. I was like, he's gonna be gross. And then I was like, oh my God. Like, where is your
Yeah.
family, Evie? I was like, get someone in here, stat. This man.
Seriously. And she just never said anything because
Mm-mm. She was trying to protect
Evie,
her family. She was like, you know, what else can I do? He's the only one. The property's gonna go to him, like if anything happens. So
yeah, I know, but
yeah, out
it's
of
so
duty.
frustrating.
Yeah. So she's like
So
having the worst time. And Claire's like, maybe I miscalculated, but also Rupert is definitely up to no good. Hey, Nick, you love paperwork because you're boring. And he's like, I do love paperwork. And so
he's like, exactly.
it's
Finally,
like,
a task to suit my skills.
this is exactly what I bring to the table. So they basically rig things. Rupert gets there. He's creepy. He sucks. Claire's father is doing horribly. The doctor's like, basically say your goodbyes. Like he's not gonna last, basically, is what they're
Yeah.
saying. Clara is still, recovering but doing better. And they with Nick's help, Nick distracts Rupert. She sneaks into the room and like gets some papers. And then she brings them back to have Nick and Theodore look over them because Theodore's in on it now. And Theodore and
Yes.
Evie kind of had this thing the whole time that was very much like a Jane Bingley, where he's like, I wasn't sure, I wasn't convinced of the depths of her affection, that
Yeah.
thing. And so he's
Yes.
like, I don't know if she likes me like that, basically. And Evie's like, I've been very clear about it. How could he possibly not know? But also, like, she doesn't want to hope. And that was the whole thing. So she wasn't really like overt because she was like, I don't want to lead him on. But
Yeah.
it is very obvious to literally everybody else. So
Right, right, right.
and this is
To
the first
literally
time
everyone.
that who literally everyone. So Theodore refused to leave, and then which is great. So I was so relieved that someone else stayed in the house because everyone is leaving. It's the end of the festival. Rupert gets there, and then I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no, no. Like Nick and sweet Theo are like the only ones left, and Nick is like, Theo, you got to do me a solid here. Do not leave. And then Nick has to go. I forget. He goes to track something down
He goes
about the
to get
paperwork.
a doctor and his
Hmm.
lawyer, I think.
Yeah, and his lawyer, yes,
Yeah.
because he so sweet. There's a very sweet moment in Clara's room next to the adjoining room. Oh no, he comes through the
Mhm.
adjoining room. We do use the
He,
adjoining room
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was crazy.
because Clara is sad and crying because the doctor says there's nothing else that he can do. And then Nick is like, I'm gonna find a doctor who can do something. And I was thinking, this is a long shot, Nick. I admire your tenacity, but
And I was like, okay, I hope
it
this
feels like a
works.
really big promise to make, but okay. But it's so sweet. They're like sitting in the chair in her room, cuddling, and it's so sweet. And then the door opens and
That
he's
was
like, "We were
cute.
not doing anything. Hands are right here." Did you know anyone whose parents used to do like hand checks in the mirror? Like my
No.
me and my siblings used to, as a joke, like if we were driving around, like if I was ever driving around like Caleb and his boyfriend, or driving around like Maddie and a boyfriend, I'd be like, hand
Mhm.
check in the rearview mirror, so they'd have to put their hands up.
You're like, no nasties in my car. Thanks.
Not while I'm driving. This is the
Not
Lord's
in
vehicle.
my car. This is like this is the Lord's adjoining bedroom. We are not doing
Hand checked. This is the Lord's. Yep.
this. Oh my god.
Yeah. Anyways, that
Yeah,
was a
so like
divergence,
Thea's
but
in on it. Rupert
mm-hmm.
shows up and is nasty,
Mm-hmm.
but they're already on the case. So Clara
Yeah.
is like collecting papers more to send to Nick and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Theo's like, I'll help out. I'll get him to try and sell me on his nasty like shipping venture, and then that'll
Yeah.
give you some time. And I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
okay, Theo's like,
Theo's great. Yeah. Theo,
and
like, I
then
forgot. Theo becomes Claire's, like, sort of partner in crime while Nick is gone.
yeah, I
Yeah.
thought that was cute.
It was very sweet.
And
And
then
Theo's like,
Theo,
I would never leave Evie with the likes of him. And I'm like,
yes,
yes, Theo.
yeah, yeah. And then Rupert like confronts Evie and is like being disgusting.
Yep.
But and she's like, absolutely not. I decided I'm not marrying you, you nasty freak.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I was so proud of
what?
her.
Me
I did not
too.
see that coming. I thought she was just gonna like cave until like Clara saved her. I
I
was
know.
so
And
proud of her.
I was so proud too. She like fully was like, absolutely not. And then he leaves and Theo comes in and he's like, babe, that was so impressive.
He's also like, I'm
And
also so proud of
I'm
you. You're
also
amazing.
so proud. And then she's like, oh my God. And then they're both like, well, I guess we're in love.
Yeah, she's
And I'm
like, so
like,
now that I'm
we
not
all knew.
engaged, and he's like, I would absolutely, yes, yes, I volunteer as tribute.
I know.
Yeah, so
It's so
sweet.
funny. And then yeah, and then Nicholas and
Return.
sorry, and
Oh
then
yeah,
Rupert comes and is being scary to Clara because he's like, you nasty girl, you made her like turn me down. How dare you?
yeah,
And he like pushes her.
yeah,
And then she's like, uh-oh. And then he's like, Rupert's all like, well, you know what? And he starts basically monologuing about his evil deeds.
yeah. Look, Claire,
And
I
so
forget
what?
what she said. She like baits him into it. She's like, says, I forget what she says. She basically plays his ego to be like, it's not like you have like the skills or the smarts or whatever to make this kind of money anyway, but something like that. Like, and he's like, I will have you know I'm a very successful criminal, and like goes into his whole like criminal dealings to prove her wrong. But someone is
Yeah.
listening. The Lord.
Someone's listening. The Lord. And also Nicholas Croft.
Also Nicholas Croft, and also the police officer that he brought with
And
him,
also
and also
the
his
police.
lawyer.
And everyone comes in. They're like, not on my watch.
Loved
It's
that so
so
much.
good.
Yep.
And yeah. And so then like they're like, goodbye, Rupert. And then Clara and Nick are like, well, I guess we're in love, right? And it's like, yeah, I guess we're in love. And
Yeah.
then the doctor ends up healing their dad. And
Yeah.
so then everything works out exactly perfect.
It felt very much like the end of a Jane Austen book. It was like everyone's
Yes.
getting married and everything is good now. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, this is exactly what I wanted. This is
It
exactly what
was
I wanted.
exactly what I wanted from the ending. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
thank God.
Yep.
Everyone. And now they all just get to be cute and happy. And
Yeah.
then the epilogue is like 1 year later at Christmas, and everyone's married, and everyone's going to have babies, and
Not
everyone
even
lives
alien
close by.
babies, like
Not
real
even
human
like
babies.
real British
Pregnant with
nobility
human babies.
babies.
Yeah.
Pregnant
British
with
nobility
human babies.
babies.
Pregnant with
Pregnant with British nobility.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, everything worked out.
Yeah, it did. It's so sweet. Gosh, I love it. Feels so Christmassy right now. I can almost pretend that I'm not wearing a sundress.
If I really put my mind to it, I can imagine that I'm in a fur coat.
Oh, God. Yep. So, favorite, least favorite parts?
One of I think my favorite part was the ending, just because it was very cute and everything was wrapped up nice, just like I
Yeah.
wanted.
Yeah.
But also one of my other favorite parts was when Nicholas was being like really like angsty and dramatic after she got her like got in the fox trap and
Oh,
they
that
went
was
home,
good.
and he
Yeah.
was being all like, I'm just so upset that she got hurt. And I was like, you crazy
I know he's
man.
like shouting at the doctor, and Theo's like, man, cool it. I love that. I love seeing a guy like get emotional. Again, where did this myth come from that women don't like when men show their emotions? Like,
Like,
not
please
from
cry in
us.
front of
Like,
yeah,
please.
certainly not us.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
not us.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
What about
Um,
you? What was your favorite part?
there are a lot of like wonderful like moments in this. I love the I'm gonna pick two because I love the dichotomy. Like I love the foil that these moments are for each other. The moment when Nick runs into Claire in the hallway in her nightgown, and the reactions are just so absurd on both sides. And then the really sweet, vulnerable, intimate moment where he comes through the adjoining door and comforts her about her father was so
Yeah,
sweet,
that
and
was
like
sweet.
happened like steps apart in the way that I view where the rooms and the hallways are. So it's just like so
Mm-hmm.
interesting. Like we've come so far in such little time. It was
It
so
was, yes,
sweet.
they, and I felt like I believed it. I was
I
like,
believed it
yeah,
too
I think they're in
because
love.
they had a whole history. Like that's why I'm
Right. They
like
already knew each other.
clearly, yeah, they every
Mm-hmm.
character already has like a history, a full life. They're gonna go on and have like more. It was so well set up in that sense. What
Mm-hmm.
about least favorite part?
Um, Probably the flashback.
I know
I
that
was
was my
very
first thought
upset.
too.
I was
Yeah,
like, everything is so like, I mean, there was obviously conflict, but it was like, oh, I
you're
didn't
like,
realize we were
I thought we
going.
were having a good time.
Yeah, I was
Celine,
like,
I thought we were having a good
okay,
time.
Celine.
No, I did think about that one. I mean, it really emphasizes, like, it really like clarifies, clarifies.
Ah.
It really, it really makes it evidence how much of a creep Rupert is. Like, he is like
Yeah.
steps beyond Wickham. He is a Tom Buchanan, um, but even more overt than Tom. I think Tom is just as bad, but he's not as overt. But
Hmm.
yeah. So I don't know, but also like the saliva kiss from Percy. Like
That is a real big hold up. Yeah.
the cringe is like
It was very gross.
yeah, so for like very different reasons of completely different levels of importance, these are those are my least favorite. They definitely both
I think that's
added to the
valid.
book. Yeah, valid and necessary for the story, but like disgusting.
Uh,
um favorite least favorite characters?
um, my favorite, I think my favorite character is either Clara or Theodore.
Interesting.
I was vibing, which
I
is different for Kendall's, I think.
It
Normally it would
is.
have been the other two, but
Yeah, you would have been like an
I
Evie
thought
and
they were
Theodore.
fun. I liked them hanging out at the end.
They
What
were
about you?
fun. Well, honorable mention for Aunt Joe. I would have liked more
Oh,
Aunt
yes, yes,
Joe
yes.
because I
I
think if
would
we
have
had
too.
more, she would have been like absolutely top tier favorite.
Yeah. Where's
Um,
Aunt Joe?
I don't know. She's just honorary bestie, Aunt Joe.
Yeah.
I don't know. And this is where it's I love the Darcy Elizabeth like enemies to lovers, Nick, Clara. I just love that so much that I'm like, I don't know. Is Clara my favorite? Is Nick my favorite? Because I love a grump. Like you know my
Oh,
husband. I love like
yeah.
a grumpy grump.
Listen, we're grump lovers over here for
We love a
sure.
good grump. We love it. We love seeing the grump like the serious grump like crack a little bit and be happy. It's so
Mm-hmm.
sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this is where I'm going to publicly embarrass Javi and say that he once called me his Hallmark movie because I made him love Christmas for the first time.
That is cute as hell.
Isn't it cute as hell? He'll totally not cop to it,
Yes.
but he did, and I remember it.
Yeah, he would
And
deny that.
I got my tending wounds moment, and I wrote it down to read to remind myself when he's pissing me off. That I have a whole I this is relationship advice with Ash, guys. I strongly recommend that when you are with your significant other and they do something like very sweet, write it down because next week they're going to do something that makes you want to murder them and bury them in the backyard. And you'll just go to your little list and be like, remember they do love you. Remember when they have this side too? Remember that they said these things? Highly recommend. It's very nice to have. Also, now I have like screenshots from like texts that he sent me like really early in our relationship that I would have totally forgotten otherwise. So it's just like a really fun
Yeah,
little
the
sweet
all
thing.
that sweet stuff. That's
Yeah,
nice. That's your little
it
treasure trove.
it is my little treasure trove. Where was I going with this? Oh
Um,
yes, my wounded moment.
Pending.
It was also Christmas themed. Um, this was like if they had gone to the shack in the woods, to the hunting lodge or whatever.
Uh-huh.
This is what I'm picturing essentially, but just replace injured foot with I had like 103.5 fever and it was horrible. And I was terrified
No.
to take a bath because we were in a really crappy apartment and our water would like never get really hot. And so I was taking a
Uh-huh.
bath, but also I was like, I hate being cold when I have a fever. And so Javi was like boiling pots of water on the stove to bring and dump into the tub to make sure that I had like hot water for the bath. And even though he hates
Oh.
Christmas music, he played Kenny G Christmas music for me and sat in the bathroom while I took a bath so I to make sure I didn't drown. Yeah,
That's really cute.
I know, right? Yeah. Anyway, so that's my moment.
Oh,
All that
yeah.
to say, I'm obviously a huge softie for like a chaos sunshine baby and a sourpuss grumpy grump. Like I love
Mm-hmm.
that. So I think that they're like, even though they're totally opposite, I think they're tied for me for favorite character.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we least favorite character, Rupert.
Yeah, root Bruto.
Honorable mention for
Easy.
Percy. I mean,
Yeah, he sucks.
he sucks. Whatever. Yeah.
Like whatever.
Whatever. He's not even worth mentioning. I'm not gonna get into it
Yeah,
on
it's
him.
like not even yeah,
Not
whatever,
even worth our
Percy.
time. Percy's like, so we're engaged then. Is that what I'm hearing is that you like me? Okay, Percy.
Like, yeah, just tell yourself that.
Whatever
Oh
you
my
need, buddy.
God.
Let's see. Favorite parts, least favorite parts. Favorite quote?
Lessons learned.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
Oh
to skip my
shoot.
favorite quote because I literally had one. It was some beautiful atmospheric quote about like sparkling Christmas, and it was amazing. But I don't have
Yes.
my book on me and I didn't write it down. So there's no way I'll be able to get to that quote while we're
I
recording.
okay, then I had like a couple pages bookmarked, but I'll just not do one too so that we can be equal.
We'll be
Yeah.
equally inept. Yeah,
Yeah.
lessons learned. On to lessons learned.
Yep. Lessons learned. Um, how many times do we have to say this one? A woman does not owe you romance because she's being nice to you. Why do we always have to say that
I
one?
don't know. Again, this is
That is
2024.
crazy.
Just
We
us. We've
it's
been
because
saying
we
this
read a
for
lot.
5 years.
This is like our probably number one most repeated one. And I know it's preaching to the choir. Nobody in the club
No one in the club would ever. They would
would ever
never.
act this way.
Yeah.
However, that is a lesson
People
that Lord
do.
Percy
And
learned.
he did learn that, thank God. And I unfortunately think that there are a lot of men who still need to learn that.
Hey,
As
you
I
gotta learn it.
met several of them, I was like, "Oh, hey, you seem sad. You okay?" And they were like, "Oh my
He's
God,
in love with me.
do you want to get married?" Or
No.
it's just that God told me that we're supposed to be together. Like, no, I was like,
Nuh-uh.
God told me to love my neighbors. That's what I was doing, my dude. But
And you're not supposed to tell me that. It's like even if you feel
100%.
that way, keep that to yourself. You know.
Shh. You can
Good
just hush
Lord.
up on that till God tells me the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm not, I have not gotten the message. So,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, that's a good one.
Um, another one. Perhaps there's something along the lines of not judging a book by its cover, second
Mm,
chances.
yeah. Remember, no saliva kissing unless you look like Christian Bale, just as a reminder.
That's actually the number one most important this episode. No saliva kissing unless you look like Christian
Yep, absolutely not. Mm-mm,
Bale.
mm-mm.
Mm,
I don't know.
don't go fox hunting.
Yeah. And also, if you have the choice between staying in the hunting lodge or going home, stay in the hunting
Go to
lodge.
the hunting lodge. Are you
What the heck?
serious? Like,
Who's
come
even
on.
into the snowy woods at Christmas time? Go to the hunting lodge. Come on. They're like, but propriety. Also, she's injured. I want to get her to a doctor. We're like, shut up.
She'll be fine.
She's gonna be okay. Okay. God.
The power of your love will
We'll
keep her
heal her.
alive.
Just play her
It will
some
heal
Kenny G
her.
Christmas music. She'll be fine.
Boil that water. Play some Kenny G. It's gonna work out.
It's gonna work out. It's gonna be great. And
The
then just
power
write
of
it in your little
Christmas.
journal for the next time that he is insufferable. And you'll be like, remember
Yeah.
when he loved me? That was nice.
When
And then
when Nicholas is too into paperwork again, Clara goes back and reads her little journal, and it's like
remember that time
when
that he yelled at the
he
doctor
tried
because
to.
he was so panicked about my health and well-being?
He's like,
Yeah.
oh my god,
It was so sweet of him when he was so
that is
passionate.
so sweet.
So sweet. I like to think that she loosens him up. I don't think that she changes at all. You know how like
No,
Darcy and Elizabeth both clearly affected each other some?
yeah,
I don't feel that Nick affected Clara at all. And
I
that's
no
fine.
because
She didn't
his
need it.
No. And also like all of her character development in terms of like being like a less selfish person had nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
You know? It
Yeah.
was fully like her own thing she was figuring out. And
Yep.
so he just happened to be there.
Same with
Yeah, I don't
Evie.
think
I
he
like how like they had, and this is where it's sort of different than like a normal like regency like romance. Like Evie and Clara had their own arc, their own growth that had nothing to do with the men and their
yeah.
romantic interests. It like
Yeah.
zero to do
That's
with it.
true.
But they were still totally valid and totally present. They weren't just like shoved off to the side like, bleh, we hate boys, we have to obligatorily like include them, like for the
Yeah.
romance. It was like, no, they're both great dudes, but honestly, this has nothing to do with them whatsoever.
Yeah.
And then they were like, we're so
Glad you're
happy
here.
for
Thanks
you,
for being here.
queens. We are so happy
Yeah.
you guys are
Okay. Yes,
doing
Queen.
well.
How convenient for them because they're best friends and now they get to be brothers-in-law.
I love that. I love that.
It's so cute.
I mean,
Oh my God,
Darcy
just
and
like
Bingley.
Bingley
It's
and
amazing.
Darcy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's amazing. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's good
Uh,
stuff.
see, I don't think we usually do Pinkies Up for independent books.
We usually don't.
We
No.
usually don't.
We
And
have
my
never
my
before.
we haven't before, so I don't think we should start now. And the main reason is not that I wouldn't rate this well, because I would, but I think that independent authors typically have so fewer reviews that any review you leave has like way more weight to it. And this podcast
Right.
is not serious enough to deserve that amount of weight.
No.
So
No. Yeah, we don't. We're just idiots. So
we're just
there's
we're
no.
literally idiots over here. But I love it and I will happily and highly recommend it. This was a wonderful Christmas read. Strongly recommend. Everybody should
Very
absolutely go
cozy.
add this to your shelves. I loved it. If you couldn't tell, like I definitely enjoyed this book. Oh, Nick. Oh, Clara and Nick. I'm like, am I
God,
gonna read this again?
Nick.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably read this again next year. I love having like a Christmas book I can read. It's so
I
nice.
know. Christmas books are so fun.
They are.
I need to, I'm saying next year we really got to get on top. I want a Thanksgiving book somehow, if we
Celine.
can do this. Somebody give me
Use a
Celine.
Thanksgiving book.
Celine. It's fun to say
Celine.
Celine like that. Celine.
Celine. Oh God. She's like,
Like in
can
the
I sue
Selena
them
movie,
for being
Selena.
annoying? Yeah, Selena.
Like, stop saying my name. Yeah. They know my birthday. It's creepy. Um, yeah. Well, this is fun.
Yeah, it's good. Anything else about the book, or is that it?
Mm, I don't have anything else.
Okay, sweet. Nor do I. We will be doing a Christmas Story Siren Studio. What is this? The fourth annual Christmas party
Oh, I
or
think
fifth
so.
annual? Something like
It might be
that.
the
Fourth, I think.
it's the fourth.
Right? It's the fourth.
Yeah, because we started, did we start in 2020?
I don't think I don't remember if we did a Christmas episode with our first year. I don't remember. I don't know. You
Well,
guys
it's
will know
some
when it comes out. I will check before I publish it. But we are doing
I think
our
it's the fourth.
annual and it will be our biggest Story Siren Studio Christmas party yet because it will include Spoons herself, Lewis, aka Catherine, over from our sister podcast, The Scripturian Society. That's for writers. Definitely hop over there if you guys haven't, if you enjoy writing. Or just listening to the inner workings, the chaotic inner workings of a writer's brain. And then also Gino, our newest host over
Hmm.
here at That Pretentious Book Club. Like we're all going to be there. We're all going to be chaos. We can play
It's gonna be a
what I
party.
affectionately
I will
call
remember my bingo card this year.
yes, podcast host Neuroses Bingo. That's it's my favorite.
Yes.
It's my favorite activity, my favorite Christmas game at this point.
Yeah, I like it too. It's really funny.
It's really
It's
good.
like
Yeah,
it's always
it's
good when
good.
there's a very specific one that
And then you get it and you're like, eh, knew it.
yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. So that's gonna be fun. It will be bookish and literary themed. It will not be like our normal episodes, but it'll be a good time. If you guys want a taste of what those episodes are like, there are 3 previous
There are
ones you can go
several.
listen
Yeah.
to. There. Also,
Yep.
we've got Christmas books that we've read before. So if you're looking for just some more seasonal stuff to listen to, you can go back and listen to those episodes. I kind
Yeah,
of
we
do.
did
I was like,
Hercule
oh,
Poirot.
Christmas. Yeah. Hercule
Yeah.
Poirot's Christmas.
Hercule Poirot.
Didn't we do a Christmas one the year before that too?
I
I
thought
don't
we
remember.
did.
I thought we
We
did.
did Dracula for Halloween once. That was
Yeah, we
fun.
definitely do seasonal ones. So go check them out.
Oh yeah, our
And
holiday fox.
in yeah, with our holiday fox, Foxy. We love her.
Mhm.
Um, but I think that's everything. So don't forget to check us out on social media. We are That Pretentious Book Club. You can also go to our website, storysirensstudio.com, or you can go to thatpretentiousbookclub.com. It will take you to the same place. And if you have not gotten all your holiday shopping done, I highly recommend that you check out our merch. We have some very cool merch. Some of it's like inside jokes from the pod. Some of it's just like funny stuff if you've ever read a book in your life. Um, and we are frequently updating it. So go check that out
Yeah.
and send us your book recs. I love it.
Yeah.
We always love your book recs. You guys can send that to us on social media or you can email us at contact@storysirensstudio.com if you want to send like a longer
Hmm.
email or if you just want to send like a really long like complaint letter. I'll read it. I will read it over a
No.
nice full glass of eggnog.
I will read it over an open flame. And shh. That's where that's going.
We take customer complaints very seriously here. It is our policy.
Very seriously.
Very seriously. Oh God. But yeah, if you guys we would love to hear your thoughts. We love your recommendations. And I hope everyone is having a absolutely wonderful winter holiday season. And yeah,
Yes.
let us know if you're doing anything cool or exciting. And also, don't forget that we do have a writing group, which I don't often talk about on here, but it's on Discord. It's the Scripturian Society because for our writing podcast. I think it's also linked in the description, but I'll check. That we've actually had a few more people join it recently, and it's fun to see everybody talking about what they're working on in there.
Ooh,
So
great. I want to
yeah.
get on there.
I want to get on there. That's great
I
since
always
you
forget
are
about it
an owner of the
since I'm in
podcast.
it. And I am
Yeah.
founding
Actually,
member of the podcast.
I forget about it too because like there have not been that many people in it. So sometimes I'll check back in and
Hmm.
someone said something like months ago and I'm like, wow, I am the absolute
Way
worst
to
at this.
go.
So happy for you. I'm assuming you finished the whole book
Yay.
by now.
Woohoo. Yeah.
Yeah, but we just
10
added a few
pages.
more. So shout out to the people who
Yeah.
just joined. Hi Lacey, if you're out there, Lacey just joined.
Yay,
And she's been
Lacey.
writing and she's also her and Susanna have been in the writing group and writing with young
Susanna.
children and I'm just like you are
Wow.
amazing. It is so
Good for
hard.
them.
Yeah, so very proud of and impressed by them. Someday I too
It's
will
amazing.
achieve such things. But oh, I guess Aunt Celine because she's got two kids, so she must have
Yeah,
been
she
working on this with the
does.
children. God, Celine, I don't know how you did it. Hope you find some peace this Christmas. Hide in the bathroom. That's what my mom used
Yeah.
to do.
That's what I used to do when I was babysitting sometimes.
She'd
I'm
be like,
like,
"Oh, I'm in the bathroom.
yeah, so I'll be right
I'll
out.
be right out." Yeah. Anyways, we love kids. Family's great.
No,
Uh
I do love kids, but
yeah. I guess they're all right. I have one, so.
yeah, whatever.
Anyways, have a absolutely wonderful Christmas season. We will try to get that Christmas episode out for you guys as soon as possible. I'll try to get this one out as soon as possible, so I don't know that it'll be on our normal schedule, but that's fine. And send your book recs. And until next episode, keep your teacups full
Your pinky's high.
and your book club.
Pretentious. Did I mess it up?
What? No.